What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me here on the Market Recap Show. We'll just keep the chains on today and not go with the Bitcoin. But we are excited as it is Happy Halloween to everybody there today. Yeah, this real estate ETF today, nice move up, man, up 1.8%, making a move up here. This is just a 1-minute chart. It is pulling back a little bit. We did get that news today out of Missouri, but a nice move there. Redfin, some sort of collab there. Bad, negative for them, negative for the stocks, maybe better for the real estate sector. Let's find out right now. But we are ready to rock and roll as the earnings are going to be piling in. We will be using trade ideas as they start to pile through here. We'll hit refresh. Any movement in the post market will show up right here and we will get it to you live. We also have Benzinga coming through right now. If there's anything pops through here, we will have a good look at that as well as we await. Honestly, one of the baddest reports that's coming through, bad as in like we're ready for it, it's going to be AMD. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. There is an implied 6% move. So if we get that move, you're going to be down in here into the mid 90s and then looking to hold that bottom of $93. If it's a good report, then we're going to get AMD blasting through probably this 103. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's here with me. We're going to go to Top Chat. Anybody that's a subscriber is going to be here. What's up to Bears vs. Bulls? Happy birthday. Just kidding. It's not your birthday, but happy birthday to Bears vs. Bulls. FSLR Darwin, he says, it's out. So let's go over to FSLR right now and have a quick look to see what is going on with them. Traders stay late and we're going to talk about it. FSLR back and forth. This is why, and it's funny because when Sharif first started here, I was like, A, who's this guy that just wears jerseys behind me? Second point, why is he trading earnings plays live as they're happening? This is why you do not. And I told him, I was like, dude, do not do this. He stopped. 133 bottom, 148 top as FSLR. Here's the report right now. First Solar Q3 adjusted EPS 250. Don't know what they're expecting. Net sales 801. Sales lower, but we knew that was going to come through. We've seen Enphase get to the downside. We've seen Solar Edge get to the downside as we await more earnings plays coming through right now, but we will wait for AMD. Is there any action here in the post? No. So right now, AMD just chilling out. It's 403. Hey, let's go to our sector recap. Why not? It's always good when there's more green on the sector recap board than red, right? So today, big time in the Greensville here. And for those of you that drive like I do, or just quite frankly, you're worried about CPI, it's nice to see oil coming back in a little bit. Oil had some great moves on the daily, man. Up, this is USO, okay? Not the actual oil contract. Thank you. Went back to the future for this. Nice fresh water. Thank you so much, Fabian, for that. Okay, so again, nice move back in there for USO. Today, down that 1.4%. We'll always check out on XLE, which we did get out of. Oh, this is not the daily chart. XLE, which we did get out of some of our position up here again when we bumped up. We felt real bad last time it came down here, but look at the 50 period moving average, right? So you got to watch out for that. I'm still waiting, man. I don't see any earnings coming through yet for anything that we have not talked about. So we will just keep on reloading everything, push play, and if anything comes to the downside or upside, we should have it, but XLE holding out. Look at UNG. Shout out to Nat Gas today. Not really sure what's up with it, but it is a nice move there for Nat Gas coming back in just a little bit. Energy today, we had some names coming through, more on the oil side. MPC reported, which was pretty good. BP as well. Let's just have a quick look at British Petroleum. Look at this, nice move back in, but look where we fell. We fell right to 36. So a decent level there for BP, British Petroleum, to get some money into that name. Sorry guys, my eye's still over here. We're still waiting for AMD to come out. TAN. So solar ETF, are we near the bottom of this or what? Look at the weekly chart. Now, we saw Enphase come out. I know Reliable Rudy, you're probably in the chat. If you're not, what's up to everybody else? But Reliable Rudy has been talking about Enphase. He likes it. He likes it for a long term. But again, the flip side of all of this, as rates go higher, it's a problem for Enphase, Solar Edge, all of these names, because it's too expensive right now for solar. So what this had to do is a lot of financing projects. As rates start to go up to the upside, solar names, heading south. So we'll check out on First Solar. I mean, here's ENPH. I feel bad even calling this up, but end phase right now, 340 down to $79, looking for some love back here, going all the way back to 2020. Hey, they're not the only stock, right? Check out Pfizer. Pfizer today, not much as far as, where it's been trading. On the daily, they did come out with earnings, hovered around that $30 mark, closes at $30.56. But look at this, going all the way back, Pfizer, all the way back to March of 2020. I'm going to be picking up some Pfizer, not today, not tomorrow, maybe the next day. I like third day plays for earnings names. So that's a play coming up for Pfizer. Hey man, I'm still here and we're still waiting. We'll double check in on Benzinga. What has happened? Caesars coming out with a little play now. We like that. We saw win the other day. CZR. Let's see what Caesars is doing. And now we don't need a weekly for Caesars. Let's just go to a 1 minute chart, see the action. So pretty flat on Caesars right now. We just saw that report come through. Let me get that to you again. I jumped the gun there. 34 versus 29, that's nice. Revenue, a slight beat, 2994 versus 2932. So slight beat on that one as we're still waiting for the big dog, man. And that is going to be AMD coming through. Any quick action here? No. So no fat fingers yet. No report out on AMD. XHB coming through. Now, again, there was that story today with respect to Redfin. A Kansas City jury has ruled that National Association of Realtors, Home Services America, blah, 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 continue to inflate commission rates. So you're seeing stocks like Redfin, and again, that's how they're making money. I don't believe here we have them in Canada, Redfin, but movement to the downside for them on that report that hit. Look at the volume coming into this name. Nice move from $5 all the way down to $4.40 and change. Redfin on the daily destroyed. Another name was Zillow, right? Which is, is it just Zed? What is Zillow? Yeah, just Zed. Yeah, there's two of them, right? There's Zillow Group and another one. But anyway, Zed right there. Huge, I don't even, you know what? Honestly, despite what this report is, I actually thought that they would have been down a little bit more than what they were down. But again, give it $3. I guess, look, down 7 points, not nice. But look at the daily on some of these, man. I mean, again, we've already talked about the rhetoric here with home buyers, right? And that is that as these rates continue, mortgage rates right now still at 20-year highs, still taking north of 8% unless that's changed. May have done that in a little while, last couple weeks. But last I heard, mortgage rates, huge, right? And so Zillow right now having a hard time not only selling some of those properties, but also the financing and some of the deals that they had given in the past underwater on some of that. So look at Zillow here on the daily. Took the 50, bang to the downside, right? Probably trapped. Boom, into the downside now as we'll look. Are we back to COVID lows for Zillow? Let's have a quick look at that as well. So back into 2020, yeah. Pretty much, yes, but you're also at 2022 lows as well. Looking at, well, not really, looking at $27 for those lows. So the fact that we're still at 36, still ways to go on Zillow. We're still here, man. We're still waiting. It looks like Paychecks Paycom, sorry, not Paychecks. Wow, a disaster strikes on PAYC just now. Yeah, not good. Non-GAAP EPS missing, revenue missing, Paycom, movement to the downside. Look, man, we've seen some pretty disastrous plays with PayPal, things like that. I mean, Paycom, I don't know what even, I mean, wait a second, we'd have their market cap on here. What was it, PAYC? I want to see what their market cap was because realistically, I don't know much about this company. 11 billion, so that gets chopped right now. Paycom with a huge move to the downside. Just really quickly, LTHM out. Livent Corp, not Lithium America, LAC would be that. Nice move to the downside as AMD. I'm just kind of killing time as we wait for some of these names. We do have First Solar though. Let's go double check this. I just want to wait for AMD. Implied move 6% for AMD. We will wait to see. Look at First Solar. Despite not being a horrible report, it's in line with expectations on the stock price. That was a quick hydration nation right there. 140 holding on First Solar. Good little report there. We could get the news on them. What's the news right here? First Solar sees fiscal 2023 in range. Range right here. This is what this looks like for First Solar. No, we are not registered. Fiscal year $7.20 to $8. So First Solar looking to be in line right there. We do have Benzinga pumping through here. If anything does come on the wire, we'll get it for you ASAP. Shout out to Brian Shannon. He's unable to make it today, so we will. Bears versus Bulls. We're going to get some Q&A lined up. You guys can ask me whatever you want. How long have I been here for? 22 years. So squash that question. But we'll go more and more, man. Anything you guys want to talk about, my trading style, anything about that, let's get some Q&As ready to rock and roll. That's going to be up very soon. We can actually almost do that pretty soon. Let's just go over a couple more sectors here. Look, SMH. So I want to go to the daily chart. We will have AMD as soon as it comes through. So right now, SMH holding out for it on the 200 period moving average. This could be it, man. The NASDAQ's been getting hit pretty good for the last little while. Maybe a move down here for AMD gets bought back up. Why? Because the semiconductor's holding pretty decently. We don't get NVIDIA till the 21st. So we will sit on our hands right now. Let's switch this over to a 1 minute chart. So if anything hits on the SMH, probably means NVIDIA is out. An interesting tweet. Shout out to Adara for getting me this one right here. Check this out. Buying McDonald's, okay? Interesting thing. Shout out to Carl Quintanilla on some other kind of network. I have no idea which one. Starts with an M, ends with a C or something like that. But we'll wait to see here. Look at this. McDonald's tends to do well in the month of November. Why? Why? I don't know, but we're going to find out this. The loan exception of 2019 down. But look at McDonald's. Here, let me make this a little bit bigger. Look at McDonald's. Look how far this goes back. 98, 99, all November. What? This is an outlier for MCD. So I'm actually in this name. This is a name that I've been buying for a very, very long time to get diversified. And I was actually debating, like, I don't know why 2021, 2022 is not here. So we'll have to go back and look at those numbers again. But interesting stat here for McDonald's. Very, very green in the month of November. So we'll see 80% of the time over the last 16 years, McDonald's has been profitable. We did see MCD come flying through on their earnings report. No, it's not today. It was back into here. Nice move back up for McDonald's. As you can see the profile, when was their earning, or when were their earnings? October 30th. Okay, so that was 2 days ago for McDonald's. Okay, I thought it was a little bit earlier than that, but anyways, not a dramatic move for McDonald's. They're off earnings. Let's see if it does take the 50 period. Maybe we get back to 280. I'd like to sell this name. And again, just a little worried about the consumer. The prices have obviously gone up everywhere where you eat, but you got to eat somewhere. A lot of families still looking to McDonald's because there's a lot of people loving it. That's McDonald's. I need to have some more of this. I already told you earlier, I was like, lock me up when I was that Bitcoin guy. So right now, we'll see if we get, no, I don't think that's enough for copyright. Yeah, that sounded very professional. Anybody working at McDonald's, you know, hit me up right here. But right now, guys, it still looks like, and I don't know when AMD generally comes out, but right now, maybe it's going to be 420, could be 415. It's imminent right now, AMD, I feel like. Okay, the Qs, the IBF, the XLE. So we sort of talked about everything here a little bit today. Banks stronger today. The XLF up 1.1%, trying to hold out for it here on these lows. I feel like now that we're looking at ETFs, there are obviously always going to be key names, but Bank of America is another one right there that's been pretty low, pretty beat up. I actually don't mind this down to 25. Did you miss it? Maybe you did. I can definitely tell you that this yellow line for earnings is not true for Bank of America, as banks have come and gone. Quick check, yeah, not really seeing anything moving out right now. All right, shout out to Bears versus Bulls. So let's do this real quick, man. Let's go quickly. Let's do Trader Talk. It's going to be with me. All right, real quick though, I'm seeing in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat that is saying AMD is running. I don't see anything yet that signifies AMD running. I'm hearing no or seeing no, but that's a nice move up to 99.50 right now. Shaking my head goes the man beside me. Not out yet for AMD, so we will wait for that. If it does come out, we'll get it. But I do not blame everybody in the chat for being like, AMD's out, look, AMD. Uh-oh, AMD right there, 95. Maybe now we are out on AMD. Yes, now we are out. So it looks like AMD Redsville, there it goes, down to 94. AMD with the drop zone. I don't know if you guys know, not McDonald's, Canada's Wonderland has a ride drop zone. I like to say something about Benzinga Pro having it, but they do not yet. So I don't see it yet here. AMD is out. There it is. Speak of the devil. Okay, looks like it was not bad. AMD 70 versus 68. That's sales 5.8 versus 5.7. So what's up with that? I say we will keep that on the side, find out what is wrong with AMD down to $94. So yes, it is whack-a-mole time for AMD. Pop head up, get whacked down to $94. What does this look like on a daily? Shout out to everybody that's here, man. Shout out to Rabel, it's Miko, Michael Lloyd is here, John Spruill is here, new McDonald's menu item, okay? Michael Lloyd here, CompRS1, boy oh boy. CompRS is always in our chat as well. Chris is here as well. He was long AMD. Someone in the chat said they're dead if it goes to 88. First of all, you never want to put all your chips into one basket, especially into earnings. Like, I would never consider putting on a trade ahead of earnings unless I was basing it on something, and there's no way it would be an all or none move there. I don't know what just happened to the ETF watch here, but it just got whacked out as well. Okay, AMD, still the only thing I have on it is what you guys saw right now from me on AMD. So, all right, let's go, man. We just did a little bit of roll call, so we'll run this again right now, but 106 call spreads, yeah, I don't see a problem, honestly, man. I don't see a problem with this yet. And here it is right now, even off Benzinga. Here's another note, Q4 revenue. What are they seeing, right? So I don't think they should be guiding, but if companies want to do it, then sure. Q4 revenue, like look how wide this is. 5.8 to 6.4 when estimated is 6. Okay, so basically the low end is a little bit more conservative than the high end. So if you're going to estimate at 6, give a guide of 5.8, but a high side of 6.4. That's good. Here it is right here. AMD in the fourth quarter, we expect to see strong growth. Here, let's just do this so you can see the stock reaction. Data center growth, momentum up, client partial by lower sales, gaming segment. So again, strong growth in data center. So that's good. That should be actually a hit for Intel, which I believe also has data center chips. So yes, so a nice little move down for Intel, but I'm just imagining pretty much sector board across the board here down. Yeah, NVIDIA down. Man, we had some, did we have some good trades in NVIDIA today. The #1 trade for the show for the month, the #2 trade for the show for the month was Meta, and that's that, man. P&L wise, we went back-to-back jacks today on the 31st. The two largest P&L trades of the month happened today on those breaks. And we could talk about, I mean, again, I got to talk to Michael now. It's like, how do I just move this over right now? I wish I knew, but I think the web version's a little bit better for that. There it is right here. This is the trade I'm talking about. It's this $400 break. We had this, and then we had outs, and we can show it to you actually in a minute. But let's go. We want to do this. It's Trader Talk with me. All right, while we get all lined up for that, I do want to make sure that we do call up AMD and just have it on here. It's down to $94 right now. So I'm going to open up the chat here for everybody. So here it is. Thank you so much to Bears vs. Bulls who has lined up a couple chats for me. So let's go on that. All right, here's one from Alex Davis. I haven't read these before, so hey, Bears vs. Bulls, please don't leave me hanging. Okay, the first one right now, we're going to put it in the chat and then push enter. I have no idea why. Oh, we're a little bit over on what I'm allowed to type in here, so we'll go right there. Okay, so what is a hidden problem? So Alex asks me, what is an A+ setup? What is more important? Do you support and resistance levels or how the candles are looking? Do you see EVs being future hype or hidden problems? So, okay. Multiple questions there. One was the EV. I'd rather talk about that later. A+ setups, what are we looking for? So let's just move that aside. I really think that honestly, there's a reason, and you kind of asked this question and then it just came right to it. Was this trade today? How do you scroll over? There has to be, is it control like this? No, it's not. Is it shift this? Yeah, no, but mouse wheel is too aggressive. I noticed that. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's going back slow down. Oh, darn. Okay, so just to answer your question, I believe its support and resistance breaks are my A+ setup, but it has to come with catalysts, right? So today on NVIDIA, we had AMD earnings, plus we've had a really, really weak market. So let me just quickly show you here. And again, thank you so much for the question. We're gonna go over it more. But look at this. This is support and resistance, right? Anybody can see this. That's 403, 404. Move it down a little bit. End of the day, you're at 400. So obviously a break of 403, 404 would be really nice, but a break of 400, I really like that. And that goes to show you as well with Meta, right? Here's the break of Meta. It doesn't look as juicy, $300 for Meta, but you came in pretty strong today. So to answer your question, I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. It is look at Meta on the afternoon, like that's not a good trade setup. But look at this. Came in, definite dump out right there. 300 gets hit. We shorted it. We took a lot of profit on that trade. So I would say, to answer your question, Alex, kind of a combination of both. Its candles have to look nice, but for me, it's big breaks, and it's big breaks on the daily. So that's a little bit of a hint for you right there. Thank you so much for that, Q&L. All right, Matthew Cabral, what is your favorite trade? Don't really understand that question, so I'm going to pass. What indicators do I use? My favorite question. So here, let's go over to here because I think this is the most important. Let's post this. I want to say a big shout out to you. Thank you so much, Christian Garcia. What indicators does he use? So what indicators do I use? Well, let's go right over to my layout, right? So let's go over to our layout right now and have a quick look at that. So let's go over to NVIDIA. We had some good trades on that, and it shouldn't be too many wicks, I hope. Because, okay, good. So this is a perfect example. Now, here's what we're looking. There's the short on NVIDIA today. I told you the #1 profitable trade for any trader today, on our platform, period, for the month. I just don't know what I did in the month of September. But the month of October, huge move to the downside. Here's the break. There's the print at 93. Here's the $15 move higher. What do I use? The #1 indicator for me is volume weighted average price. It's the blue. What else do I use? 50-period moving average. These are all simple moving averages. Then I've got the 200-period moving averages. Now, the 200 is great for support and resistance. So again, a nice move up here. Could have shorted using it, right? It could have went long using it as well. So I like that. The 50-period is more for scalping with support and resistance. And then VWAP is to give you an idea of where the stock is trading. Are we under for the day or above it for the day? I use VWAP more importantly on the NQs rather than the stocks. It's the 50 and the 200 for the stocks, and it doesn't really matter what period we're talking about, whether or not it's going to be a 15-minute, 5-minute, or a 1-minute. Those are my 3 charts, man. 5, 20, and a 1-minute chart where I make my decisions. Thank you so much for that question, my friend Christian Garcia. Okay, when Sean is scalping, does he set stop losses? Shout out to Chris RML. That's another great question. I'm going to put that in the chat right now again. Wow, it's pretty fun today doing the Q&A. So can I look at rework? Going down, bankruptcy news. Let me check on WeWork real quick here just to double check on that one, if that is indeed true, which probably it is. Oh, yeah, wow. Look, man, if you're trading WeWork, all I can tell you is we've been calling the demise of this stock from time. I don't know, and I actually made in real well with my cousin because his fiance used to work at WeWork, and the minute that she got shares, she actually contacted me and was like, yo, what do I do with these? What do you think I said? I said, hit the sell button immediately. As you can see, rework, just back, you can say whatever, it wasn't $87. These are all split adjusted. But look at this, $87 back in March. February, right? $1 today. WeWork goes boom to the downside. AMD, just a quick little check here. And I apologize, I know we're doing Q&A, but AMD down to 94 and holding, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea there. All right, back to Q&A. All right, let's put this in here. Chris, RML, when Sean is scalping, here it is. It's on the big screen. Who's over there? Ramin, what's up? Right there. I just posted it somewhere. There it is. When scalping, does Sean set stop orders? Well, a good example of that today would be PLTR. So let's go over to Palantir. This is really my #1 scalp name today, as I have 80 fills on it. We did talk about that. So yeah, Chris, I do set it, but it's more like set it and forget it. I don't really actively change the stop order when I am trading, when I'm scalping, right? And so here on Palantir, although it does take a dip, dive, duck, dodge into the close there, shout out to all my dodgeball fans, but you can see right here, nice short into it and back in again. So our stop was always $15, or a little bit higher than that, 15, 15.01, 15.02. So as I'm taking these fills, I know that I have a stop higher. So if something blasts ahead, and it's because of what you said, Chris, you can't be prepared enough. You know, like I don't need news to hit on Palantir or something like that. And then although Sharif says old man hands, my hands are completely fine. He has old man hands. That's not an excuse that I use. In and out, like, I mean, these are all manually put in trades. So we're doing fine on that dexterity level. But yes, put out your stops. The minute I start to scalp, I'm instantly putting out stops. And we actually have a key here where I don't need to specify shares. It will get me out of 50, 75, or 100% or a quarter of my shares. So I just put that out, generally 75%, and then reassess it once we get stopped out. But a great question. Thank you so much for Chris for that one. I do think it is very, very important that you do use stops. So again, thank you so much to everybody that's here. Bears vs. Bulls is taking all the questions. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more because I got Halloween preparation to get going. It gets dark here around 5:30. That's about when I get home. It takes me about 45 minutes to drive 11 kilometers. Thank you to all of our mayors. Thank you to Metrolink and everybody for putting these ridiculous bike lanes everywhere and for creating traffic like absolute. I actually know somebody that works at Metrolinks and he says it's an absolute hot mess disaster right there. Okay, a great one from Harry Lou, actually. How has my trading, right here, all these questions are great, guys. Bears versus Bulls, please take them. We'll put them in the bank and we will ask, we'll do Q&As again because I feel like this is really popular. But if I don't see, honestly, if these likes are not, what are we at, 272? We don't get over 4. We have 2,300 watching right now. We don't get over 500 likes, Q&A stops immediately. A little bit of an empty thread. I'm doing this no matter what. Okay, what's up with Foot Locker? Good question, Dan. But we just talked about how has our trading changed over the years. I mean, I honestly think that what I've learned since doing the show is that you have to be a little more patient because the trading style that I've even started with over there, even if you've been watching me for 6 months or a year, we've changed, right? We've gotten a lot more calm. We're trading a lot less names. And it's not, a lot of the action that I'm doing on the show is honestly for the show, right? I've always been scalping. I've always taken pennies back and forth. But what I've noticed for the show, to answer your question, Harry, is trying to make bigger plays. It's like a good example would be Meta today. Like how many times? And like Neil will have a different style. He'll take Meta and get out for a 10-cent hit. You know, it's like that's there too. And you could scalp for 10 cents, but like waiting to take bigger profits, like even on Meta here, when we were looking at this, I knew Meta had this bottom here that it wasn't breaking, right? But because we were short up here, we could have taken $1, $2, but we were waiting for that break. We've sat here, studied charts longer since being on the show, understanding that there's a lot of money made on bigger moves. So we're trying to hold out for longer. And honestly, in being as honest as we possibly can, I wish that we could all, live in a happy world and show everybody everything, right? But unfortunately, we've decided not to do that. I am legitimately today 7-1. We were 8-1, 10-1. We posted that up, and I just feel like being more specific in what you're looking for has helped me infinitely. Okay, my biggest problem, and I don't even know if this is another question, but I'm going to do it off the cuff. My biggest problem is share size. And that is knowing when to get out of, and a good example would be Meta, right? Like we have this bottom tick there for Meta at 297. But, some more outs, 290, 298, holding it to get out at 299, getting it back out again. So it's like, where do I get out of them all? It's just, it's share sizing. Proper sizing is my biggest right now sort of hurdle that I have to overcome. One more question. Wow, okay. There's a couple here. Shout out to Vanessa. When am I going to start trading Bitcoin? So I do trade GBTC on the show. Unfortunately, we're not even going to show the show too much more. I'm just going to try to answer these questions rapido style, as AMD is still at 94. Okay, so crypto. I trade GBTC, ETHE. Sometimes I'll do that on the show. Don't really trade Mara or Riot. Unfortunately, our platform here at Day Trade the World does not have a proper spot Bitcoin offering. We are working on that. When that does come, we're gonna be all over that. Thank you so much, because I do need that. Got to get home to the family for sure. Ponzi Fonzie, going short, does it matter to you? No, it does not. And Adara was talking about that. I'm going to speak to her after, because it makes no difference to us going long or going short. It's more of a mental game, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're getting stuck trading, you have to get above that level. Right? Going long or going short, as long as you're able to get margin, it should not be a problem, especially if you're day trading. So for me, that's that. Okay, and then what do I look at? Another good question, I think, from Juan, and this is because Mr. Juan Padilla has been a definite favorite of mine in the chat, and I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that continues to join us every single day. Here it is right here. Thank you so much, Juan. Can you ask Sean if he uses anything to help him determine how he feels for the day, whether or not it's bullish or bearish? Honestly, great question, Juan. I kind of just look at the NASDAQ. Where are we on a daily level? What has the flow been overnight? How has Europe felt? And then honestly, a shout out to Brendan and a shout out to everybody that works on the watch list. I get a feel of the stories that are there. You can get it from watchlist.tradertv.live. Watchlist.tradertv.live. And it's basically, if we're negative stories on there, and I see Tesla down one in a bit, you know, AMD down tomorrow. Like, I'm going to be negative tomorrow. We had to move down on the semi here, big chip name, so I think we'll be negative. So I feel like, Juan, I know that's kind of a basic answer, but honestly, I just get the feel for crypto. I get the feel for what Europe was doing, and then I don't pay too much attention to the bonds or anything like that, what they're doing. It has been so wild. So I tend to look at, again, what the NASDAQ futures are doing and what the big stories are. So that's kind of what I do, and we've actually been doing pretty good with that. So I'm going to say that's it for Trader Talk. Thank you so much to everybody that's been joining me today. It does mean a lot to be able to have this. We only have 400 likes, but I'll stay here with you tomorrow as well, as it's going to be Hump Day Wednesday. We have Fed coming through, and of course then we have Apple on Thursday, and we have this big AMD report to look out for there tomorrow. Thank you so much. A big happy Halloween to everybody. If you want to see what Neil and I were dressed up as, go over to @TraderTV. Sean, I have a funny clip there that we had this morning. So again, thank you so much to everybody for joining. I'm Sean Katina. It's been a hell of a day, and I am now need some more water. Have fun Halloween. Have a safe one as well. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Ciao.